But what I do want you to be really clear on is when you are being out of alignment with yourself. Because when you're being out of alignment with yourself, you feel bad. And when you feel bad, that's a true signal that you're being out of alignment with the way creation actually works most efficiently. So if you wish to be efficient at being of service and being a good boy and a good girl, and if you wish to be efficient in manifesting your dreams, you have to notice when you feel good and when you don't feel good. Because that's the only means you have to actually knowing whether you're doing something that's wise or stupid. Now, many people's minds take over when they grasp to spirituality, when they grasp to certain teachings. They think they understand the concepts of the teachings, and they might very well understand these concepts. But then they gain the innocent arrogance of believing that the teachings supersede how one feels. So, in other words, one starts to place one's feelings in certain boxes that make sense from the teachings or the teacher's perspective. Now, this is a very bad mistake, even though you can't make any mistakes, because you're literally going against nature, you're going against your own stream, and you're separating yourself from true wisdom. So true wisdom requires you to be really attentive to your overall general feeling state. If your feeling state feels really holistically good, you feel abundant, you feel free, you feel loving, you feel giving, you feel like you're on top of the world, then somehow you must have aligned your frequencies the moment right before that experience. Or just in general, that day, your mind or your perspective, your focus must be in alignment with something that's actually in alignment for you and therefore for all of creation. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So yeah, this is done most effectively by deliberate focus or meditation. So many of us, again, have these mixed frequencies. Therefore, focus can be quite helpful in streamlining your vibration and really getting to know the nature of consciousness and the nature of frequency and the nature of who you are as an individuated expression of the all that is consciousness. Your individuated I am consciousness is an expression, is a reflection, it's an extension of the all that is, all simultaneously in one moment, timelessly so aware of everything all at once, consciousness. You are an expression of that, an extension of that. Does that make sense? Do you feel that? Do you believe that? You cannot be separated from consciousness because you are consciousness. But you are consciousness experienced through your particular focal point of I am. So, it really helps to gain focus. Focus really helps. Deliberate attention really helps in getting to know who you are. And there's no greater pleasure in life than to know who you truly are. Than to know, we could sort of go into the philosophical realm of it and say like why you're here and what you're here to do, what your purpose is. And sometimes these ideas can be distracting. But in general, that is a correct statement. It's very liberating to know who you are and why you are here. That does not mean that you need to know exactly what you are to do specifically and when you have to do it. It's more of a general sense of clarity as to what intention did you bring with you, or what theme are you here to explore, or what primordial quality of consciousness do you most desire to be in alignment with and to be an expression of, an example of. So just for half a minute, take a deep breath, relax your thoughts, give them away, and ask yourself, why am I here? And don't go into specifics like to be a lawyer or to be a spiritual teacher or any of that, but be specific in a different way. Be specific vibrationally speaking. So why are you here? To share what? To become more of what? What frequency? What vibration of consciousnness? What quality of existence are you here to dive into more, to learn more of, and to be a more pristine example of to the rest of yourself, other selves? And I'm assuming that you have found some type of quality, even if it's as abstract as unconditional love, which is absolutely gorgeous. It can be more specific, but it doesn't have to be. So as soon as you find a particular vibration of consciousness, a quality of existence that you feel really drawn towards, that you feel like, yes, this is what I wish to be an example of, this is what I wish to embody and exude and vibrate as. When you find that, let's go into the concentration aspect of it. So simply place your attention on the idea that brings you into that quality of your choice. So in other words, simply think of the state of your choice, the frequency of your preference, your soul's preference in that sense. Bring your attention to that idea and see how maybe there may be some distractions. You may go back and forth. But overall, you have a pretty clear picture back and forth of that image or of that sensation or of that idea. So you bring your attention back to it again and again. You focus on it again and again. Now, as you keep doing that, you will find that there's prolonged moments where you sort of drop into the experience of that imagination, of that focal point. And suddenly, for that moment, focus becomes effortless and continuous, even if it's just for 5 seconds. Simply bring it back again and again to that quality. Feel it, imagine it, perceive it. And you will find that the stream of your attention becomes more constantly focused on that and less focused on your physical body here. You're becoming more non-physically focused upon the quality of consciousness of your choice. Notice this. It becomes easier and easier. Even within this single minute, it becomes easier and easier. This is meditation. You start to experience prolonged moments of continuous flow, like oil being poured from one pot into the next, as a constant stream of conscious awareness of the object of your choice. Now, if you dive even further into this and let go of your sense of self by simply being really excited, being really engaged with the focus of your choice, really imagine the finer details of that imagination, of that quality. How would you express yourself? What would you feel like? What would it look like? What would the smile on your face look like? Really embody, absorb the quality of your choice. Really merge with it. And all you perceive is the pristine, crystalline vision of your focus.